We're reducing your hours to 10 per week. He didn't say it like bad news. He said it like a decision that had already been approved somewhere higher than me. Like gravity. Something you don't argue with. I didn't respond right away, because some sentences don't land all at once. They sink slowly, quietly, until you realize you're already losing control. My name is Hannah, and I knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't firing me. That would cost him money. He was starving me out, cut my hours, force me to quit, avoid unemployment. Clean, efficient, cowardly. 10 hours? I asked, just to hear it again, to confirm that this wasn't a misunderstanding. That's the final decision, he said. He didn't look at me. He picked up a paper, pretended to read it, like I wasn't even in the room anymore. That told me everything. He didn't want a conversation. He wanted compliance, or a reaction. Either would work for him. I gave him neither. I nodded, stood up, and walked out. He thought he had won. I could see it in the way he leaned back in his chair, relaxed, satisfied, like he had just solved a problem. What he didn't understand was what he had just touched. To him, I was a line on a spreadsheet, a salary he didn't like, a cost he could reduce. To the company, I was something else entirely. I was the license, not a title, not a position, a requirement. For 10 years, I had worked in a field most people don't think about. Industrial chemical compliance. Not the kind of work you see. The kind that keeps things from going wrong. We didn't build things. We made sure they didn't kill people. Old buildings, government contracts, hazardous materials, lead, asbestos, solvents that could dissolve rubber in seconds. Everything we used was regulated, tracked, controlled, and none of it could legally exist in one place yet without someone like me. Years ago, I earned that certification. 5,000 hours, 4 exams, 1 license. That license allowed the company to operate. Without it, they didn't just slow down, they stopped. The old owner understood that. His name was Otis. He built the company from nothing. He knew what risk looked like. He respected it. He respected me. Then he retired and handed everything to his son, Bricks. 30 years old, perfect teeth, expensive suits, no understanding of what we actually did. He didn't see a system, he saw numbers. And when he looked at payroll, he saw mine. Too high, unnecessary, replaceable. I don't need to pay someone full-time to walk around with a clipboard. That's what he said in our first meeting. I didn't correct him. Not then. Because people like him don't learn from being told. They learn from consequences. Friday night, I went home. The house was quiet. Too quiet. I sat on the couch, hands still, heart racing. 10 hours. That wasn't a schedule. That was a countdown. Mortgage, bills, food. Everything in my life ran on numbers, and he had just cut them. For a moment, I thought about calling someone. Rico, the foreman. He would be angry, supportive, loud, but it wouldn't matter, because anger doesn't change structure. So I didn't call anyone. I got up, walked down the hallway, and stopped at the frame. My certification mounted on the wall. I hadn't really looked at it in years, not closely, but something stopped me. I stepped closer, read the small print at the bottom, and something in my memory shifted. Not a full thought, just recognition. I went to the bookshelf, pulled out the manual, the state handbook, thick, heavy, full of rules no one reads twice, except the people who have to. I flipped through it. Pages thin, text dense, until I found it. Storage requirements. Class A volatile solvents. I read it once, then again, then a third time. And this time, I didn't feel fear anymore. I felt something else. Calm, cold. Because the situation hadn't changed, I had. For a facility like ours, the law was clear. The designated license holder must be present on site for a minimum of 32 hours per week. 32, not 40, not 10, 32. Below that threshold, the facility changes classification, not a workplace, a storage site. And storage sites have one rule: do not use, no opening containers, no transferring chemicals, no operations. Break that rule, and it's not a violation, it's a crime. I closed the book, sat there for a moment, and understood something clearly. He hadn't removed me. He had removed the company's ability to function. I didn't call him. I didn't warn him because warnings only work when someone is willing to listen. And he had already decided I wasn't worth listening to, so I let him be right. I let him believe he understood the situation. I opened my laptop, went to the state labor website, not to complain, not to argue, to update. There's a form, simple, routine, mostly ignored, change of status. It asks 3 things: your license number, your employer, your weekly hours. I typed slowly, deliberately, 10 hours. The system paused, then a message appeared. Reduction below 32 hours will result in automatic facility reclassification. I read it once, then clicked confirm. No hesitation, no second thoughts. The system processed it instantly because systems don't negotiate, they execute. Hours, 10. Status, non-compliant facility, downgraded. It was done. I closed the laptop, went to bed, and for the first time in days, I slept. Monday morning felt normal, too normal. The sun was out, traffic was light. I stopped for coffee. Same place, same order. The owner smiled. "You look different today." "I feel different," I said. And I did. Not better, not happier, clearer. I walked into the building at exactly 8 o'clock. The air felt the same, smelled the same, but the structure was already different. In the warehouse, and they were preparing. I could hear it. Metal drums rolling, voices calling out instructions. Rico was organizing the crew. They were loading solvents for the library project, the biggest contract of the year, the one Bricks needed to prove himself. He had underbid everyone else, promised speed, precision, execution. He needed today to work. It wouldn't. I walked past reception. Jenna looked at me, sympathy in her eyes. "I'm sorry," she whispered. I smiled. It's okay, because it was. I stepped into the main office. He was standing by the coffee machine. New suit, perfect posture, holding a mug that said, "Boss." When he saw me, he checked his watch. "You decided to show up." His voice was loud, performative. He wanted people to hear this. "You've got 2 hours," he continued. "I want you organizing the supply closet. Paper towels, staples, pens." He was trying to humiliate me. Turn 10 years of expertise into sorting office supplies. I didn't react. "I can do that," I said. Then I reached into my bag. But first, I held out the envelope. Yellow, thick, stamped, official. He frowned, didn't take it immediately. "What is this?" "It's from the state." He scoffed, took it, ripped it open. Careless, confident, like it couldn't possibly matter. Then he pulled the paper out. Orange, bright, unmistakable. Everything in our industry knows that color. Stop. Danger. Do not proceed. He stopped talking. His eyes moved across the page. Slower, then slower. The color drained from his face. "What is this?" he said. But this time, it wasn't arrogance. It was confusion. Read the second paragraph. His hands were shaking now, just slightly. He read it out loud. "Reduction of designated license holder hours below 32. His voice faltered. "Results in immediate suspension of operational permit." Silence. He looked up at me. "Suspension?" I nodded. "As of 8 o'clock this morning, this building is not a work site. It's a storage facility." I let that sit. Then I added, You cannot open those drums. You cannot load those vans. You cannot start that project. He turned toward the window. The vans were lined up outside, workers moving, equipment being loaded, everything already in motion. But we have a deadline, he said, not commanding anymore, asking. If one drop leaves this site, I said quietly, it's a federal crime. That's when the panic started. Fix it. That was the first thing he said. Not what happened, not explain this. Fix it. Like I could reverse a law the way he reversed a schedule. Call them, he snapped. Tell them it's a mistake. I'll put you back to 40 hours. I shook my head. It doesn't work like that. He grabbed the phone, started dialing, fast, aggressive, like speed could change the outcome. It's suspended, I said. He froze, slowly lowered the phone. What does that mean? He asked. It means the license is inactive. It means the facility needs a recertification audit. How long? 6 weeks. That number broke him. Not instantly, but visibly. 6 weeks meant no work, no contracts, no revenue. 6 weeks meant failure. We have the library contract, he said. They're expecting us today. I nodded. I know. He stared at me, waiting for help, for a solution. There wasn't one. I checked my watch. I have 90 minutes left, I said. I'll be in the supply closet. I turned, walked away. Behind me, the office started to fracture. Phones ringing, voices rising. He was calling the state. Being transferred, put on hold, explaining, repeating, getting the same answer every time. No. I sat in the supply closet, boxes stacked around me, paper, staples, cleaning supplies, and I listened. Not with satisfaction, with clarity, because this wasn't revenge. It was consequence. 90 minutes later, I walked out. The office was silent. Not quiet. Heavy. He was at his desk, head down, phone hanging loose. The call had ended. He hadn't fixed anything. I picked up my bag. My shift is over, I said. He didn't respond. I walked out. The building behind me was already failing. Tuesday passed, then Wednesday. No calls, no messages. Until Thursday, Rico called. Hannah, what's going on? His voice wasn't angry. It was tired. The gates are locked. Everything stopped. I listened. We loaded the vans Monday morning, he said. Then he came running out, yelling to unload everything. I closed my eyes. Did you? Yeah. But Hannah, we worked Saturday. That mattered. How much? 40 barrels. We even mixed the first stage. And? There was a spill. There it was. How bad? Not huge, but it happened. That was enough because Saturday a pole I was already part-time. The license was already inactive, which meant they weren't just non-compliant, they were illegal. And now and there was a documented incident. I thanked him, hung up, and waited. The collapse didn't happen immediately. It never does. It builds. Thursday morning, the insurance adjuster arrived. Routine, standard. A man named Gareth. He reviewed the logs. Saturday, the spill. Then he asked, was the license holder present? Silence. Bricks tried to answer. She's on payroll. Was she physically present? Pause. Gareth checked the system, saw the update. Friday, 10 hours. He closed his laptop, calm, professional, and handed over 2 documents. Claim denied. Policy terminated. Because the moment the permit was suspended, insurance stopped existing. That's the clause. If you operate without a license, you operate alone. The spill cost $42,000. EPA fines, $75,000. State penalties, $1,000 per day. The city lawsuit, even more. And none of it was covered, because he had broken the system. Not bent it, broken it. Within 2 weeks, he couldn't make payroll. Within 3, the bank stepped in. Within a month, the company was gone. Assets seized, accounts frozen, everything liquidated. I watched it happen from a distance. Not closely, just enough. The building went up for sale. Equipment, vehicles, furniture, even his chair, the big leather one. Last but I saw, $50. 3 months later, a new company bought everything. Serious people. They did their research, looked at 10 years of compliance, saw one name, mine, and one failure. The week I was removed, they called me, offered a position. Not the same one, better. Regional compliance director, double the salary, full control. I accepted. First thing I did, I called Rico, then the rest of the crew. We rebuilt everything properly, safely. The library project, we finished it. On time, under budget, no incidents. That's what happens when structure is respected. A year later, I was in Denver, conference, travel, late flight, rental car counter. Next guest, I stepped forward. Last name? He asked. Hannah. He froze, slowly looked up. Bricks. The suit was gone. Red polo shirt, name tag slightly crooked. He looked older, tired, real. His eyes moved. My coat, my bag, my card, then back to my face. Recognition, immediate. I didn't smile, didn't say anything. I handed him my license. Mid-size is fine. He took it, hand shaking, typed slowly, printed the receipt, gave me the keys. No words, no explanation, none needed. I took them. Thank you. Turned, walked away. Because some endings don't need sound. They just need time. He tried to save money by removing the one thing holding everything together, and in doing that, he removed himself. Completely.